Hi everybody! Tino of the new Barfield here. Welcome to Writer's Corner. I recently did some stuff about stretching for a writer, and I'm doing that was actually, and it's keeping me really loose. But I got to thinking, okay, so we've done stretches, but what about the mental part of it? So I decided to do another quick, more informal video just about some mental exercises and some different things that you can do, memory recall and all of that, to help you get started before you start writing, maybe if you're suffering a creative block or something like that. What is neuroplasticity? Neuroplasticity is basically how flexible your brain is. I'm pretty sure I've talked about this before, maybe in Perks of Being a Teen Writer, which is one of my most popular videos for some reason. I don't know why. I'm like a complete dork in that. Maybe I'll do that more. I don't know. But neuroplasticity is basically how flexible your brain is. It's more flexible whenever you're younger and less flexible, more rigid whenever you're older. So on average, it's more difficult to learn new skills and to accept new ideas whenever you're older, whenever you get into your 20s and especially in your 30s. So it's important to keep your brain young even if your body is withering away. And I have a few suggestions on how to do that. Basically, you're going to want to play games. One of the best things you can do is to trick your brain into doing what you want. And that's what I have to do. I have to play games and do fun things for myself so that way I can actually get the results that I want. One of the best things you can do is this writing game called Round Robin, where you start part of a story and then someone else goes and someone else goes. You can do it online by starting a story and then sending it out and then someone will add to it, and you can do it written, but I prefer verbal because I like to see people's mistakes. I like to make the mistakes. I think it's fun. Everybody can laugh more. You don't have as much time to think. Sometimes it's best to have a moderator if you have a lot of chatty individuals like me, so that way you can kind of cut people off and be like, no, shut up. Stop talking. Of course, there are other fun games you can do, and I use the word fun here because they're fun to me, but unless you're a nerdy writer, they may not be fun to you, though this raises the question, if you're not a nerdy writer, then why are you on my channel? Another one that you can do is to think of a story that starts with a letter of the alphabet, where everybody does a sentence that starts with one, so you might have some run-on sentences there, but it'll mostly be okay. I also like to play word association games. Now, you can do this with yourself. You just kind of sound like a crazy person whenever you're talking to yourself. So this is actually a best one-on-one kind of thing. I like to do it with my girlfriend, but she can't always do it because, so here's how it works. You say a word, like you ask, what's the first thing that comes to your head whenever you think of the word apple? And then the other person says the first thing. They cannot hesitate, it just has to be like that. I have no problem with this. My brain is always going, and so whenever someone says something, I'm like, oh, I think of this. And sometimes I can't control what I say, so I just say it, and then I hear it, and then it's not appropriate. This is a great way to get out of your own head and to be able to do things. Another great thing to do is to think of a story that goes off of an inanimate object on your room. If you see a door, think of a story that goes off of that door. Just kind of get your brain going. This is really helpful for creative blocks whenever you're dealing with a whole bunch of different things. And I like to do this sometimes, and then I get too emotionally attached to an inanimate object, and that never goes well. Then I can't throw it out. I'm like, no, candy bar wrapper, we had such good times. So do this at your own peril. Beyond this, you can solve puzzles and do riddles and a whole bunch of other different things. I prefer to avoid being on the internet right before I'm supposed to write. And if I get on the internet, I'm not going to do anything useful. It'll be really helpful for later, I'll watch a Logic video or Shoe Off Head or something, and I'll be inspired to write something cute or something logical or whatever, but I can't, then I never get to write them. So I suggest staying off the internet and just doing these brain games with yourself or with someone else for 10-20 minutes before you start writing. If you start to get bored with it, then start writing. That will be a great judge for you. If you don't start to get bored after 20 minutes, stop anyway. So creative thinking games are great and all, but what about your memory? Your memory helps you connect everything in your head and make quick decisions, and it helps bring all of this stuff to front whenever you're trying to write a story. How do you make that better? For me, my memory is pretty great with stories. I still write down my outline and everything, but my memory is pretty good. However, my memory for day-to-day things is not that great. So I'm trying to write down more of my story stuff, so I'm thinking less about stories and more about day-to-day stuff so I don't forget. Fun fact though, notice I did not say that my brain is running out of room for day-to-day things for me to remember. Your brain literally, as far as I know, cannot run out of room. If it needs new information, it does not delete the old things. It just makes more room for it. Your brain just creates new pathways and new compartments. so you're running out of excuses. Now, you can do memory games on the computer. You can do that, or on your phone, or whatever. But just like with the creative thinking games, you might get sucked into a whirlwind of fun and interwebs that is great and all, but will prevent you from writing. So what are some memory things that you can do outside of that? Well, one thing that you can do is to create a mental task list and refer to that throughout the day. So think at the beginning of the day what you need to get done. And keep that in mind, and keep referring to that every 30 minutes, every hour or so, and that'll help you keep going through it. Also, maybe at the end of the day or at the beginning of a new day, remember what you did. So if you lay down to go to bed, think of what you did that day step by step. Run all of the events through in your head, play by play. See how much of it you can remember. I prefer to do this in the morning while I'm stretching, so that way I remember what happened the previous day, because if I lay down to start thinking about my day, then I'm going to start thinking about everything. And one more great thing you can do for your memory is to concentrate. Don't try and multitask. Contrary to what people believe about multitasking, your brain does not work like a computer. It can't do all of that at once, and it actually slows down your efficiency. And I know, but I can get it all done. But I do it. It actually helps me. If I have only one thing, I get bored and I can't focus on it. I understand. I get it. I multitask. But it's not effective in the long run, and I highly recommend just focusing on one task and getting it done. I recommend not watching TV, because even though TV will inspire you, it's commonly like your cool down. Like, okay, I'm gonna watch TV, I'm gonna get inspired, and then I'm not gonna write. Then I'm just gonna keep sitting here and keep being inspired, and whenever I get up the next day, then I'll write, as long as I don't watch TV. Or you can always try and make your own video game or make your own thing besides creating a story. Because sometimes whenever you write, you really want to create, but you're just really bad at the writing part. And that's what I've been experiencing recently. Like, I'm really creative right now, but the words just don't come. Maybe it's because I'm typing like a spaz. But I recommend trying to make your own game, trying to create something besides writing, because then you might realize, oh, this is really fun, but I'm super bad at it. So you might realize, oh, I'm actually really good at writing. Now, if you're looking for a book to inspire, you can check out Legendland, and it's in the trailer, so just pretend it's there. So you can get Legendland from a plethora of places. It's on Amazon, iTunes, Barnes & Noble, Smashwords, my publisher's website, and my website, www.arcdestrom.com. And if you order off of there, I'll personally sign it for you. And I can even throw in like an inspirational message, that will put you to tears and really just make you want to write whenever you read it. I hope you found these tips and suggestions helpful, that you're liking my rambling style recently, and that you continue to enjoy. Hey everyone, I hope you enjoyed the video. Stalk me online at Facebook, Twitter, Goodreads, and YouTube obviously. Please subscribe and comment below. Now if you're wanting the whole Legendland package, check out Legendland Tale of the Nameless God on Wattpad, updated every Friday. Watch some of my other videos, you might see something you enjoy, and I hope to see you next week.